Nefarious characters, check. Ill-gotten money, check. Distinct lack of brain cells, definitely check.
So you guys have previously gathered. I was not there for this, but Brad, I was on vacation. I was on like a business trip or something where you complained about
Batgirl
DLC, which man, I'll take over this.
Yes, absolutely.
So if there's one good thing to say about the most recent DLC that's been added to Arkham Knight is it makes the other DLC that people have complained about look way better by comparison. You know, case in point, different character that we did not control in the original game. You know, interesting aesthetic, and I actually hadn't played those because I was just moving on to other games, like reviewing other games or playing other games. So I was like, oh, maybe get to the DLC later. I'll wait till it's all out, and then I'll do everything. Batgirl I had to do when that came out. I was really interested to see what they did with the story. Hadn't played as her, hadn't really explored that era at all. But even like Harley has like, you know, when she goes into detective mode, has all this scrawling all over, and there's like fun little, you know, Easter eggs you can ferret out there. Like her moves are different, you know. She's a bad guy, you know, so it's like that dynamic is different. And Red Hood, you know, like kills people. Like his takedowns are actually like takedowns. You know, so there were interesting parts of playing that character. It's like already played Nightwing, already did a ton of stuff with the Penguin. Penguin was already a bad guy of one of the DLCs. It's just like what on earth? And it's.
Wait, which DLC was he a bad guy of? The Harley Quinn thing?
I think so, because you had to get Penguin out, right? Or you had to get Poison Ivy out.
Yeah.
And I think he was stopping you, because Black Mask was the one for Red Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh boy. But it's, I mean, you know, I don't want to complain about more. It's really just like versus what we were expecting or what we should actually get for this amount of money.
I was expecting something bigger. One, because Rocksteady developed it and it was story DLC. The Harley Quinn and the Red Hook add-on, the Red Hook, the Harley and the Red Hood stuff to me seemed like DLC created content specifically for pre-orders. You know, and they played like that. It was like 20 minutes long, kind of these weird side things that didn't really have an impact on the main game.
If you're just, if you beat the game and you're depressed, you're like, I want a little bit more. It's like, here's a little taste.
It's like, here's some pre-order stuff.
Yeah.
I did not expect this to be basically pre-order. Like this should have been a pre-order bonus. It's we're 4 Arkham games deep now, and my biggest complaint is that they're still relying on the combat predator scenarios. You know, like for someone not only who's beaten Arkham Knight, but for someone who's beaten the entire franchise, we need more than an encounter with like 10 unarmed goons and like 9 armed goons. Like we deserve maybe a challenge or maybe to mix up the gameplay, and this did not do that.
To put things in perspective, so Hubert comes into my office fuming, you know, like just like, you know, like I want to talk about this, and I was like, okay, well I haven't played it yet, and they're like, we're going to lunch, you can play it right now. I was like, okay, I played that. I played Harley, and I was right in the middle, Brad, when you came in of playing the Red Hood one, which I hadn't tried. So I was like, you know, in the process of getting caught up with all that stuff. So like that's, you know, and it was interesting because in playing all those back to back, it was like the same format. It's like just bump into this character randomly. Like I love when it just starts with like Nightwing, just like, well, I'm here, and you're like, where? What's happening? What? Like, because there's no opening cinema at all? Like, there's not a line of dialogue? He literally just he's like, well, okay, Lucius. It's like, why the hell is Lucius? What? Like, there's no setup of like what you're doing or what? And then you fight a couple guys, and then like, oh, I gotta go to the docks, or I gotta go to this place, or I gotta go to GCPD. Then you go there, little stealth.
You warp there.
Big fight, boss fight, done. Yeah,
my favorite thing is traveling in Batman games. You don't even get to do that.
Right. Because, that is the biggest, that is why I'm terrified now of all the other DLCs, because they came out, Sefton Hill came out and he said, you cannot be any other person other than Batman in free roam because of the way the city is designed around him, with his cape, with his grappling hook. Arkham City, was built for Batman and Catwoman. Arkham Knight was just built for Batman in mind.
Right.
That is why these feel so disjointed, because you can't be Nightwing traveling around the city. They have to start you in a small little area, warp you to another area, and then just...
That's when you play as Nightwing, when you meet him in an area and he's just stuck there. One of my favorite DLCs ever was for Grand Theft Auto 4. Like, I thought it was a really funny one and a really serious one, but they like commented on events that actually happened in the game.
Yes.
And like, The Harley one kind of does that, where it's just like, this is how you broke Poison Ivy out.
Cool
It's like,
context,
all right,
yeah.
whatever, You know, and like, Batgirl kind of hints at something, but in the end, like, isn't really that important. But like those two, like, really fill in a lot of gaps. Really introduce you to other characters. So it's like, if we've had 4 DLCs and they're all pretty subpar, should we have had 2 and maybe like tie those efforts into making 2 things that are more substantial?
Probably should have.
I was telling Kyle this. I would rather have one $40 DLC than this season pass. I don't know why I keep buying season passes. This is maybe the 3rd one I've ever bought. I will never do it again.
You're going to do it
right.
again.
You will buckle so fast.
Because Batman, they have my heartstrings. You know how it is. Like,
Well, then you said other DLCs. Are there more?
So there's
one
more
more
coming.
Okay.
One more.
Well, we're not going to get. They're not going to pull the rug out from under us with this last DLC.
No, we're actually holding
okay.
out hope that the last one might be good.
What is the last?
So the
one?
last one is called the Season of Infamy or something, and people unlocked code, and then they kind of hinted at it and confirmed that villains invade Gotham.
Okay.
So like Mr. Freeze,
Okay.
And you're Batman.
and you're Batman, which doesn't make any sense
Yeah, are
if
you
you've
like new
beaten
Batman?
the game.
Or are
Yeah,
you like different, changed Batman?
it makes no
Are you
sense.
like post Arkham?
I'm so
Side
bummed.
story.
Everything about these DLCs
Well,
is filler.
the order is weird too, because it's like we get a prequel thing and then we get a super prequel thing and
Yeah.
then we get 3 prequels and then this one was like a sequel.
This
And it's just like,
epilogue, yeah.
ugh.
So
Yeah,
then,
it's just
like,
the order of
It
them.
doesn't do the
Because-
job of an epilogue. It kind of just makes the ending mean less.
Well,
Yeah.
what did this do for
Yeah.
WB? We're sitting here complaining about Batman. It's like this didn't help. Like
It's doing far more harm than good.
Yeah.
Because it's making me look at the franchise. Like already in Arkham Knight, I love the Batmobile. It really helped out. To me, I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the formula of attack 10 guys, go into another room, now you gotta stealth them. Go into another room, attack 10 guys, and it's just that rinsing and repeating. It's basically stitching together combat and Predator challenges with a contextual cutscene, if you can even call it that.
Yep. Go to the charge boxes and power up the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get in between.
Yeah, what? That was so weird. Why?
Yeah,
Why make me even do that?
And it's like I try to be optimistic, especially before I play things and before things come out. There was so much hate on the price of the season pass. There was so much hate. It was a war online, and they came out, and because there was so much hate, they said, "Yo, here's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get this stuff." Like, how cool does that sound on paper? You're Nightwing. After the game, you gotta stop Penguin from escaping the police station. No.
oh, they're like, "Hey, Nightwing, cool. Thanks for helping us. You can hang around." He's like,
Nope.
"No,
Yeah.
I'm out of here. This was a waste of my time."
To be clear though, this was $2.
$2.
So you're paying $1 for every 10 minutes. It's literally 20 minutes to beat this.
$2. That's a
That
good
I
point.
think is not the issue. It's the season pass.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
if someone wants, that's a totally
'Cause you
different
can't
issue.
play
But I'm
this
just
right
saying
now
if
for
someone wants to
$2, you
just
gotta wait.
hop
And it's-
in for whatever
And
reason.
it's just a weird thing. If you're like League of Legends, or if you're like Heroes of the Storm, and you can just kind of throw characters out, or you can, like Hearthstone, a little patch here and there, like that's one thing. But if you have like a AAA action adventure, story-driven, comic book based, like lots of feels associated with this, and then we just new Batman thing. What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're done. It's like cotton candy. You're like, oh, yeah, I guess that's it.
It just really hits the nail on the head with how Rocksteady did this one. How the other ones were like not really them. You're like, just wait. Just
Yeah,
wait.
that's
Here,
why
the
I'm so
real
excited.
deal is coming. And it came, and it's just as bad. Or even worse.
It was worse.
But
It's worse than Batgirl.
It's just mediocre. It's just kind of it's just there. You know what I mean? Like bad would be like glitchy.
Yeah,
or
yeah, I mean,
broken,
it's
or
not
like
glitchy or
It
anything.
made a
That's
story
true.
choice we don't agree with. It's just kind of It's
I
just like
thought it was
C minus.
I actually thought it was bad because of the way Nightwing moves compared to Batman.
Whoa.
I felt way
Restricted.
more. Yeah, it just felt restricted in a. I mean, I guess again context that makes sense, but it just wasn't.
You can
as
grapple
fun.
down, which is interesting. You can like look down and there's grapple points because he'll like do a flip down. Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. There was one time legitimately where I like jumped off a ledge and wasn't like, oh, I can go into like glider mode. It was like, no, I'm falling. So I actually shot the grapple out. It was kind of fun, like because he actually like had a little bit more weight to it. And then you're done, and then that's
yeah,
it.
then the game's
And
over.
then like you better have had something else to play tonight because
That's it, yeah.
you're like I haven't even finished my dinner, and I'm like I'm done with this thing.
We don't even get to like punch Penguin. You don't even get to interact
Oh,
with
and who
Penguin.
cares about Penguin? It's like you bring in another villain or bring in
Yeah.
just something like have the whole experience be like that was nuts. I didn't do anything close to that in the game.
That's another
Versus just-
scary. That's another scary thing about Batman is because it's all about the villains, and it's really hard to create a video game scenario gameplay-wise where you can have these super powerful Batman, Nightwing characters fight off against Penguin or, you know, even Two-Face. I mean, these guys, they'd go down in one hit. So it's like setting up those scenarios is
Well,
really
use a
limited.
villain that can take a hit.
Yeah, I mean, you can only use Bane and like
Use
Croc
Croc.
so many times.
You're not keeping my hopes up for
I know,
this
I know.
expansion. What I would love is to have an open world scenario where a bunch of guys are doing something at the same time on a specific clock. So you have to decide, like, I can't catch them all. I gotta go.
Rachel.
Two-Face. I gotta
Oh no.
But that's not gonna happen. We're not gonna get that.
Maybe.
So thumbs down on the
Gotham
DLC that hasn't
Invasion.
even come out yet.
No.
Don't get your
No.
hopes up,
Keep
everybody.
hope.
No.
Keep hope alive. Gotham Invasion.
Believe. Killing hope right now. Strangling hope. Hope is dead.
Gosh.
Thanks, guys.
Mr. Grayson, we have a problem. 2 choppers are dropping off reinforcements on the roof. I'll hold the elevator, but it won't take long for them to get him out.
I'll stop him. Oh, and while you're at it, cut the lights.
No!